Okay, time for the next episode. How are you?
Awesome.
How are you doing tonight, Eric?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Can't rightly complain.
That's good. Yeah, same here. Um,
Yeah, nah, nothing too special. Unfortunately, Greg's not joining us tonight due to other obligations.
oh, hey, Vox Morbus.
Oh
Not,
yeah, hey.
nice of you to join us.
Yeah,
Um,
nah. Always good to have new listeners
yeah,
or watchers. I don't know, whatever you want to say here. Whatever you want to say. But
yeah,
yeah, so I guess yeah, tonight we're not gonna like have record an official sort of episode of the podcast or whatever, but we're still kind of gonna go through the same general motions, starting starting primarily with just talking about some of our hobby progress, the stuff we're working on, that sort of thing. Then transition to just talking about um, just some of the new model previews, that sort of thing. And then finally, unbox some Space Marine heroes, some of those Terminator models, and well, see what happens, see what we get. Maybe we'll get one of the rare ones that we can send off and get rid of
yeah.
because no one really wants old Terminator models.
Well,
Well,
I certainly
unless
don't
do
want
you want Terminator models, Vox Morbius?
them.
Because if you do,
We can send you one. Yeah. But I
yeah,
guess in terms of what like the hobby stuff we're working on, as of late, I've been working on converting one of the Warcry, like the Iron Golem ogre from Warcry.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, once if you're still around when we're unboxing these Marines, we can send you one.
I mean, regardless, we can still send you one. But if you're around, you can choose which one you think is the coolest or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm working on converting the ogre from Warcry, and the main reason I'm working on doing it is I think sometime pretty soon I'm actually going to try and start playing Warcry, and um, I'm gonna use I'm gonna use the Sister of Sigmar Mordheim warband that I made, and I'm just gonna count them as like maybe the Iron Golems, and mainly because in Mordheim you can there are different hired swords, one of which is like an ogre mercenary. And hey, Captain Timboy, nice to see you here too.
Yeah, nah.
And I want to use this ogre as a hired sword, so I thought I could potentially use it in both Warcry and Mordheim. And so I'm in the process of converting him and making him look a little less chaos like. And so
Yeah.
the main thing that I've been working on is replacing the model's hands and kind of removing the like one of his hands is like a wrecking ball and the other is a hammer that or like slotted as like gauntlets on his
Yeah,
fists and
yeah,
like I
yeah.
don't know they're fine I guess but they don't really I don't think they're that cool. So in this
Mm-hmm.
case, like I've replaced them with hands from some of the newer Auric models. In
Yeah,
this
the Iron
case,
Jaw ones.
yeah, the Iron Jaw ones. In this case, I still think maybe they're a little large for him, but in this case, since he's an ogre and not actually a human, if the anatomy is like a little alien, I don't think it matters that much.
Yeah, nah, it's like his muscles and such are kind of ridiculous, so
Yeah,
I
they're
feel
crazy big. They're
it's
crazy
fine.
big.
It's fine. But you're actually gonna be playing Warcry for
Yeah,
the
I'm
first
actually
time
should
this
be
week,
playing
right?
in on Thursday. So the idea is to at least get this ogre model in some form of playable. Okay, yeah, thanks. I think the hands fit reasonably well for the ogre. Um, but yeah, so I also am in the process of giving this hammer and his helmet. I shaved off a lot of the extra detailing, drilled in new eye holes. I'll probably give the helmet some horns or something, and then I have to actually sculpt the chin of the model because in the actual official model, his helmet kind of goes down and covers the majority of his face, and in this case, I trimmed a lot of that off. So we'll see how that goes. I feel it'll
Mm-hmm.
be fine, but I've never actually sculpted someone's chin before, or at least from scratch. So we'll see how it goes. It'll be a challenge, and
Yeah, I guess if anyone has suggestions, let us know.
yeah, I started cutting off some of the obvious chaos symbols and stuff on the model. Um, and I'll probably still cut off some of the other spikes and stuff, and maybe I'll add some other little parchments and stuff like that to make him fit slightly more with the Sister of Sigmar allies. But in general, I sort of envision him as some gladiator of sorts that came to Mordheim trying to find some of like the riches and stuff there. So I think he's
Yeah.
still, in general, the model kind of. Hey, Lifeboat, it's nice to see you here too. I think he kind of looks like a gladiator in general. So overall, yeah.
Yeah, when we posted something about that we were going to be streaming tonight, had a picture of him, like kind of some of the work in progress stuff, and a few people commented mentioning that
Hey, Eli.
he reminded them of Gregor Clegane from like a Game of Thrones,
The
which I
mountain.
thought was yeah, which I thought was kind of funny. I guess I kind of see where they're coming from.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy with this progress thus far. I still have to do a bunch of sculpting work, but and I'm reasonably happy with the hammer so far too. Like it's still pretty
Hmm.
large, but I think in terms of like Warhammer and 40K models, I think it largely makes sense for the ogre.
Yeah, and actually, Captain Timberlake, I think yeah, it would be interesting to see if more people will try to use, I guess, the Warcry rules for honestly just any other thing, whether
Yeah,
that be like to play games of Mordheim in kind of a quicker, more streamlined way, or like trying to use it in the context of Warhammer 40,000, that sort of thing. Like, I feel ideally you would like after getting some like playing the game a little bit and getting kind of accustomed to the rules and like what's powerful and not, you could just kind of create your own warbands and whatnot. But at least in the beginning, I feel it's would be pretty easy to just kind of look at what warbands are available and what models that you feel kind of fill a similar role to the kind of the warband you've already created. So I don't know. So I
yeah.
think you can do a lot of that. But
That is true. I could sculpt some chainmail or something to cover his chin. We'll see. I think I'll initially try and sculpt his chin, and if I think it looks really bad or something, maybe I'll do something like that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I think he's coming along pretty well. So that's largely what I've been focusing on. Um, Eric, I think you've been working on at least some of the Aeronauticus models.
yeah, yeah. And Aeronautica Imperialis. I've still been kind of slowly assembling them, and um, they were really nice. And I think I mentioned it in the last that they're great, but they're very similar to the Adeptus Titanicus models. That like the scale is nice. They have like really fine looking detail, similar to the um,
Adeptus
Adeptus
Titanicus
Titanicus
stuff.
stuff, and it just they look really nice, and thus far they've gone together really smoothly. And the mold lines are largely positioned in a way that they aren't too terrible. Like you still have to clean them off, and like particularly for the Marauder that I just assembled, like the little las cannons on its prow are sort of horrible because they have so many little details and such. The mold line going straight up through them that it was a lot of careful sanding and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But and also they all have like all these places to put bombs and missiles and whatnot, and trimming all that stuff is also sort of slow and painful. But I'm on my way. I think I only have 4 more ships to assemble, so
It's not too bad. Then maybe we'll even play it. Oh.
yeah. Hey, Greg's here too. He's driving home from Philadelphia, listening. Crazy. So many people are listening and they're watching this stream. It's hard to even fathom. I mean, I guess that means, Greg, we can send you one of the Terminators. Maybe you'll get the assault cannon one that no one wanted. Yeah, but so that's the main thing I've been working on, and maybe trying to paint some of Anna's Kickstarter models from like Gardens of Hecate, but it's been kind of slow due to various things. But yeah.
Actually, I can. I just took what is ultimately a pretty shitty picture, but I'll show it. I took a picture of the ogre next to one of the other sisters of Sigmar to give a sense of scale and how he's pretty big. I think the ogre will kind of add like a nice contrast to like the rest of the warband. And
yeah, damn, he's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to run into that ogre.
No, not in the slightest. Not in the slightest.
Okay, so I think we've largely covered most of what we're working on, so there aren't too many new like models that GW have shown that we really want to talk about, but we can touch on a few for a little before we move into the heroes.
Beastgrave is coming out, or is like going up for pre-order, which I feel we talked a little bit about some of that stuff, and we'll probably maybe do some more perhaps next week when we have some like 360 pictures of the new Beastman models and the sort of Centaur elves. But I guess in terms of 40K, they've actually revealed some things, like they've been kind of slowly showing stuff for this Psychic Awakening thing, largely starting with the
Aspect
Howling Banshees and such.
Yeah.
And they kind of went along with this, but actually showed an Incubi for the Dark Eldar.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited about this. Like, the old Incubi models, I guess now they probably sell them in Finecast. All the ones I had were the like white metal ones, which were kind of awful to trim and assemble.
Yeah, I think I have like a squad of them here that you gave to me that maybe I would assemble and did not.
Yeah, makes sense. But this model here looks very similar to those, and I think actually looks a little better. And I think they like reworked the weapon design slightly to make it. To me, it looks as if the two blades can be like attached together at the base of their hilts.
Yeah, it does look that way.
To make like a two-handed weapon. So I think that kind of maybe makes a little more sense than, or maybe that was always the thought, but it wasn't as clear on the.
Yeah, no, I mean it's not in general. It's nice to see because like the general design of them were awesome. Like it was like straight from Jess Goodwin. The concepts, designed the models, and that sort of thing. And it's nice just to see that same strong, cool design and just now with plastic and likely a few more options and that sort of thing. So
Yeah, I think they're
that's
cool.
nice to see. And in general, it's just nice, as Timberley is just saying, it's nice just to have more Xenos models and something like this. It's kind of, I guess, for sort of all these aspect warriors, either the Dark Eldar one or the Eldar ones. It's nice to see GW kind of go back to older designs and models and like spend the time to update them rather than just giving like totally new models, because they could easily be like, oh, well, people love Primaris. Let's make new Primaris Marines or make some new Eldar unit. Like we already have fine cast models of these other things. So it's fine, but it's nice that
Hopefully, they
they're
release more of the aspect warriors for the Eldar. Because it's been a long, long time. It would
yeah,
also
it
be
has.
cool if they made some more of the special characters for the Dark Eldar that they just kind of took out from all of the Codex
Yeah.
books since
Drazar,
the
is that his
third.
name?
Yeah, from the third edition of the game. Or was it the third?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the third edition of 40k. They had lots of cool special characters. They had a Mandrake special character.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, well, Drazar I think is still in the books because they actually made a model of him
Yeah,
in the third
Chris
edition.
Fitzpatrick's old model.
He looks a little wonky, but he's still kind of cool. Maybe
Yeah,
they'll make a new
actually,
version of him.
Timberley, you are right. The model does have that weird cloth on his arms that are like
They're like billowing backwards or something. Like I don't know what the deal with that is because
when his
there's
like loincloth and stuff is not. So like it seems like just detail added for detail's sake. And like you would say maybe it's because like the arms, you can use the arm for other things or something,
I don't know. I don't. It
but
just doesn't
it
make much
seems
sense.
unlikely unless they're just detached at the wrists or something. But even if that was the case, I don't really see how that either of those arms would really be useful. Like how you could get another pose for that in which the cloth would have made sense. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel that's kind of awkward. But I mean, maybe even with the best of GW models, they still pretty much all have to be modified in some way. And
Yeah, and
so
I
it
feel
seems
that
that would
that's
be
something you'd
one.
probably want to change. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly.
I guess we can move on. They only showed this one image. Hopefully they'll show more, and who knows what they'll do with it. They also it looks like there's that he's standing on like a rock with thorns and stuff. I don't know what I think about that. It's okay. It's not as outrageous as some of the other newer models. I guess they even showed some rules about the demi claves or whatever that he has.
We could look at them, but then again,
We don't really play, so who
why
cares?
do I bother? So Johnny, you hate the model? Why what about it do you hate?
I don't. So I do love that. Yeah, I mean, overall, I love most of the Dark Eldar stuff. Well, do you, in general, do you just dislike the Incubi like design in general? Not much of. I mean, I overall like. I feel if I were trying to redesign them, yeah. I mean, the pose, the helmet's huge. That's true. I feel that's sort of come with the territory with most of the Eldar, and like, I don't know. The head's huge. The blades themselves are kind of dumb looking. Just
I
wish it was
feel
more dynamic. Yeah, so the pose is super like calm, and it'll be interesting to see if they'll make some other poses or something that are a little more.
well, in some sense, I feel like Games Workshop is well, if they're gonna show a single model from a particular unit, they have to go full bore GW, have the wide squatting pose. Like it's important that most of their models they have that because it's like the classic dumb pose that
Well, so yeah, you're
GW
right, Johnny,
models
as well.
love.
It does kind of just look like a standard Dark Elder Warrior, which that was kind of what the original models sort of looked like that too. They were a little bulkier and larger than the standard warriors. So in this case, it's a little hard to tell if any of that has been maintained with this model. But you do sort of I see what you're saying here. These are supposed to be kind of like an elite guard for like the leaders of the Dark
One
Eldar,
thing
and they kind of
that
don't look very different.
one thing kind of speaking towards the fact that his helmet is huge. You could maybe imagine that just the helmet is gigantic and his head in there is not. But based on there was that like Dark Eldar-ish special character in the Triumvirate for the Eldar, and
Oh
he
yeah.
kind of had a similar look to him, but his head also was large, and because his head was so large, it kind of made the model look a little weird that his waist was super super thin, not as much of a torso as you would anticipate, like all that stuff. And I feel the same thing could potentially be said here, which admittedly you could say that, well, it's a xeno species, so they aren't, the physiology is not like humans, but
I feel
I
the
don't.
model itself, um, it's hard to know like where how big the head is. I mean, you get a sense of where his eyes are, but in general, I feel it would probably help if he had more of an abdomen. Like if you're looking at this, seeing like where his buttocks is, he still doesn't have that much of a torso and an abdomen. So I almost feel it would look better if his abdomen was longer and larger, and like he has a supremely thin waist in
Yeah, and
body.
almost all the LR stuff, I guess, has been like that. But I feel some of that potential awkwardness would be mitigated if the helmet wasn't quite so large. And I
Yeah,
feel like that special character that I was mentioning is like a pretty neat looking model, but because his waist is so thin and whatnot, it looks awkward and not nearly as cool as some of the artwork where like that
well, I
awkwardness
mean, a
and
lot of them
proportion
are
isn't there.
super slender and super tall. A lot of the Dark Eldar models and Eldar models, they might be slender, but they're certainly not tall, or not very tall.
And in this one, like he doesn't look like his legs look pretty long, but like his actual body is not. So yeah, I don't know. The weird proportion of the head and stuff makes him still look a little weird. But ultimately, I still think this it makes me happy to see that they're making plastic versions of these, and I think they will be helpful for if someone would want to do some conversions with these sorts of things. And I'm sure they're pretty similar to just the original Jess Goodwin ones. So like I think that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be kind of interesting to actually visit like the Dark Eldar and like me myself visit them and convert a bunch of models and like feel there's kind of a lot you could do with them to make them a little more alien looking and creepier looking. So maybe I'll convert one sometime. That'd be kind of fun. Probably
Yeah.
wouldn't be an incubi because they're sort of a little too cool for school, but um,
Yeah.
but okay, we've lingered on this for a long time. I'm happy they're doing some more Dark Eldar stuff. We'll see what the other ones look like and if they're kind of same-ish. But
Hmm.
overall, I'm reasonably happy with it. Um, they showed the Battle Sister Bulletin. They had another one of these, and they showed a painted rhino for them. Um, I guess overall it looks pretty good. I mean, it just looks like a standard rhino with extra detailing and stuff. Some of the detailing for me might be a little over the top and too
Yeah, I mean,
too big, but overall it looks fine.
It's one of the like I guess it's good that they did it, I suppose, but in a lot of senses, you
They
could
have a
just
new
use
like hunter
a
killer
normal
missile
Rhino.
launcher. They even call it a hunter killer missile launcher. Looks kind of weird. They have like a sword mounted to the top of it, which I guess.
It looks so huge and like it doesn't look like a thin lethal blade. It looks like a big slab of iron.
It's fine, I
The
guess.
little part on the second one there with the sister sticking out
Oh
of the
my God,
hatch.
look at these parchments on the
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
They look
that's what
terrible.
I was getting at. They look so thick. It's not just one parchment. That's like I don't know,
It's like a
20
beach. It's
parchments,
not a parchment, Eric. It's actually a beach towel.
like two beach towels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that to me, some of this just is like, oh, we need to add detail to this because
Yeah, I feel like
detail.
almost in many senses with a lot of things, like stuff like this, and these symbols and stuff would look better if you just painted them on. But then again, it'd
Yeah,
take forever and it would be hard. So
I feel the side door.
very much looks like one of the Forge World like
That I
Inquisitor
think is
doors.
the best of the realized things here. That like looks pretty well done, and it makes it look like it's an impressive like piece of sculpted whatever to like impress upon anyone looking at it. Whereas like the thing on the top just looks like big, fat, undetailed stuff.
People
that
buying this tank will be surprised how shitty the actual Rhino is compared to the
Yeah,
upgrades.
that is very true. I'm sure it'll just be the old Rhino kit with an additional sprue or whatnot, and it will be
Also,
like,
if we were really wishful in what we're saying, like maybe they'll redesign the Rhino and cut it better, but they won't. They almost couldn't.
yeah, if it was like would be digitally designed and recut and all that, that would be nice, but
I
they
don't think
won't
they'll
do
do
that.
that. um,
They won't do that. But it will be funny to see there'll be this sprue with all the accessories and stuff, and they'll all be tightly packed with all these details and whatnot. And then there'll be the old Rhino sprue that has.
yeah. So it's interesting. They have a little picture of the one little shrine on the back, and it's weird. It's like a bisected like face, where half
With
of
the
it's the
skull. It looks kind
skull
of
and the other
neat.
half is like the Sister of Battle face. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
So I don't. Do they say what that is?
I I didn't read this article.
These morbid reliques display the skull of a fallen martyr with one half of the face covered by a ceramic death shroud. Okay. And
Okay.
then they try and say if the Rhino looks this good, just imagine how awesome the new Immolator and Exorcist miniatures will be. So really landed on heavy.
Didn't they? I mean, that's interesting
They
because
had a plastic
they
version.
already have a plastic one that's not that old. I mean,
Yeah, it
admit,
was one of the few they actually had a plastic Sister of Battle head or two that
I mean, admittedly, it's probably still like 6 years old or something, but
gets old.
it
Yeah.
seems new in comparison to.
I don't remember this. Does this Rhino? Does this come in that like box set that's being released in maybe November,
I
or
don't
is it
remember.
separate?
I don't remember what was in that. Might be separate.
Yeah. Well, whatever. So it looks fine. It's about what I was expecting. Um, I wish they had redesigned the heavy bolter at the top, but it still looks
The
fine.
Stormbolter?
Storm bolter, rather. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're fine. I'll be interested to see the other vehicles. I think they'll largely be more of the same.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I'm trying to go back through and find a picture of the
Well, can you buy the plastic emulator or whatever on Games Workshop's website? I
I,
imagine you could.
you would think so.
You probably wouldn't be able to find it though. Finding anything on their website can be hard. Okay, well, I don't.
Looking at the Nova opening, they don't even have a picture of what's in the army. You have to watch their video. I'm sure it's in here somewhere.
Yeah, fly boat the face on the tank is boing Jesus or bong Jesus. Yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying. So cool.
Yeah, I don't know what's in the box.
There's a video down at the bottom. Is that actually? It's
I
probably the
guess
video they
it's the
played
old
before.
video that just had some pictures in it.
Yeah,
So
whatever.
it's whatever, not worth our time.
Okay, so I don't know. We belabored this too much, I think. Maybe the only other thing that we didn't want to talk too much about the Beast Grave shit, but it's just like another expansion for Underworlds. But I was sort of excited. They're showing new like Wolf Rider models. So more Goblin models is always fun. And these ones I think overall look pretty good. Like the new wolves look a lot better than most of the other wolf models that GW has made in the past. The goblins themselves look pretty good. So I don't know, they're sort of cool. I sort of like them. They have the like classic kind of little Attila the Hun like helmets and stuff, which look pretty good.
The sword the little leader dude has is kind of weird, and
It is kind of weird. I like it overall.
I feel in general it's kind of neat that the Beast Grave stuff they actually are having like some cavalry like models and stuff of different sizes, not just kind of infantry. And I think that's interesting.
In many regards, I'm sort of surprised they made these little goblins and kept them so similar to like some of the classic imagery and models and stuff, and didn't like try and really like jump the shark and do something really
Yeah, like
crazy
goblins
and
look like this now.
Yeah, so yeah, I like them. Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be cool to just see what are all the new warband types, that sort of thing. But we don't need to buy another copy of.
Johnny says, "Cut the front
Warhammer
legs off
Underworld.
and start a squig warband." You could probably do that. That's true. That's true.
Squigs are better than wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because like this, the squig hoppers, the newer squig hopper models and stuff of the knights and all that stuff, they are cooler.
Yeah, I really like the wolves and the riders too. Like,
but as you said, Adam, I'm pleased that they use this as an opportunity, and honestly, with the Beastmen too, like they're like, we're just going to have a traditional war band, like from kind of old world Warhammer. Like we don't need to make them really weird or different. Which I mean, it's still been nice that Age of Sigmar has had that ability to create some crazy off the wall things, but it's nice to see some of the more traditional sort of stuff as well.
And on top of that, like these goblins actually largely look like they're riding the wolves and not just perched atop of them like those new skeleton He-Man models that we talked about in another episode or two.
Yeah, and Timble, yeah, they are so much better than the Fenrisian wolves. Like Forged ones were so horrible, and like
they're bad.
I imagine, well, like the wolf riders, like the space wolf plastic, like Space Marines riding wolves are horrible.
Oh yeah, they made. I almost forgot they even made those
It's this
models.
Logan Grimnar's sled that was probably pulled by wolves, was it? They probably look terrible too. I don't
I
really
feel
remember. I
it
try to put
probably
some of those
was.
things out of my mind
Yeah.
and forget that they
Did they
exist.
actually happen? I mean, yeah, in that regard, these like
People
if you
are upset that Primaris are a thing when like Logan Grimnar rides like
yeah.
their space
But
wolves
so
are
no, that's
riding
true. If
big
you really
wolves.
did like the Space Wolves and you wanted like some wolves and stuff, just getting these and removing the goblins would actually be a pretty good would be a lot better.
Eli mentions here, yeah, the two that were supposed to go with Russ were two of the worst models ever made.
Yeah,
It's
those two
so
Forge
true.
World wolves are
Uh,
awful looking. Let's see if we can find them.
oh God, they were bad. When like the Forge, like Lehman Russ himself was like pretty good. Like was another nice Simon Egan model, like pretty
I
impressive and
I
like
don't remember. Oh
reminding
my
you that
God! Fuck.
they're cool looking.
The
But like
Wolfkin
the
of
wolves.
Russ. These are in the United States. They're $115, and holy shit, are they awful? Fuck, fuck. All right, let's
Yeah,
look
yeah, they're so horrible.
underbuy.
Like, be hard to press. Like, it's hard to imagine there could be a model worse than 30K Space Marines. But
Holy shit, it's
the one
so
that
bad.
is mauling, the one, or maybe not, like pushing
It's
the
like
one
pushing the
Space Marine.
one like word bear or whatever, and it's not even looking at him. Like
Well,
it
the
doesn't give
pushed
two
word bearer
fucks.
looks a lot better than the wolf, and that's hard to imagine that.
It's
Uh,
so shit.
I
Oh,
would
it's not a
ever
word
say
bear.
that
It's a
one of
thousand
those
suns.
models was okay.
Well, the one mauling it. What is this? The one mauling the dude on the ground looks a little better. But I don't. Yeah, that's fucking horrible. They look so bad. Oh, and here it's with. Oh, they're huge. Fuck.
Well, they probably realized no one would ever, like, almost no one would ever buy these models. So, like, they had to really have
Well,
had
so
a steep cost to make up the mold costs.
well, it's like Forge World's getting rid of tons of models and stuff. They're getting rid of tons of models they used to produce, probably to save like money and stuff, and they keep garbage like this. But I guess people buy it. So I'm looking at like one of the non-painted forms. The head of the wolf looks okay. I mean, it doesn't really look too much like a wolf, but it looks okay.
Adam, there are no wolves on Fenris.
Oh. um, but like the bodies and like are just oh man. Well, we've labored on this too long, but yeah, they look awful.
Yeah, my eyes are starting to water and feel pain. Like, we have to stop looking at this. We have
Dude,
to
you should
stop.
have tripled that. Dude, they should have tripled that price if you look at that. And like, yeah, I'll pay for that. You deserve.
Yeah, oh fuck, so they're
But I mean, I feel
terrible.
in some regards, I feel a lot of. I don't actually know because I know nothing about the 30K community. But I feel in some regards, like if you're really big into like gaming and actually playing the game, like you might not care that much what the models look like. And it's just like, oh yeah, like it's passable.
But you'd have to assemble it, and it's made out of terrible resin.
No, yeah, you're right. Vox Morbus, yeah, they got rid of the awesome etched brass and kept this fucking trash.
Yeah.
Cause you're like, oh my god, the etched brass stuff was some of the nicest stuff that they had. Like they were so good. And
God,
yeah,
Forge World. I mean, at least they're involved in making like all the nice plastic Blood Bowl, Necromunda, Adeptus Titanicus stuff. It seems just like, yeah, all their effort has been uh, transitioned over to that stuff, and the traditional Forge World stuff, like 30K things, are just like non-existent
wait, are you
now.
fucking kidding me? So the Lego Custodes Ares gunship. They have this gunship. At least, is this the United States? Or where is this to? Let's just make sure.
Yeah, I don't. It might not. Well,
Holy shit, it's $445. How big is it? It has to be fucking huge. No, it's not that big. Hmm. It's pretty weird looking. Wow. That's a lot. I guess I don't really remember how much the stuff cost, but I sort of thought like the war.
well, they had. I mean, since they switched over to like selling the stuff in the United States, they had to do the obligatory 20% price increase. So
Yeah, holy shit.
made out
Oh.
of solid gold. Yeah,
Like,
that's
they have this painted version of it, and the stupid gun on the front in the painted version of the model. It's not even attached straight. It's like crooked as shit. Guess
no
you can't
time.
blame them. It's a Forge World model. It probably doesn't fit together for shit. I guess in Forge World's defense, the newer models are cast so much better
One, since they're
than this.
digitally designed
Yeah, than
too,
the
I
stuff
think
in the
they're better
past.
too. Yeah, but
Fuck. Okay, so I don't know. I think we've talked about some
yeah,
of this stuff
let's
enough.
transition away from Forge World. We could now transition to like other shitty models and unbox some Terminators and
Yeah, I think that's what we're
marvel at
gonna do.
how bad they look too. That'll be fun.
All right,
People can guess what
Space
model we'll
Marine
get.
heroes. There, here we are. Okay, so it's not focusing that well, but it's fine.
That's probably better so we don't have to actually see the models.
Yeah, it'll probably change. Okay, so we have, I don't know how many we're gonna unbox tonight, but do people have any suggestions of which one we should look at first?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see those mystery trash boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it does any I would say I'll start like a straw poll for people to vote on what to open, but like I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, now so top right
Top right.
box. Yeah, this one's yours.
All right. Okay, I'll move some of the stuff out of the way. Well, actually, before we do that, if you don't know, these are the potential things you can get. There are apparently two models with Thunder Hammers. There's one with a Cyclone missile launcher.
We unboxed that last week.
Yeah, there's one. There's one that's like, I guess you'd say he's running with lightning claws. There's an assault cannon, two with storm bolters, one with a banner, who he's like super rare, 1 in 30, and then there's this commander who's 1 in 20. So all right, do we have any guesses what this one is? I think it's
Uh,
gonna be one of the guys with the storm bolters.
I think a Thunderhammer.
Yeah, okay.
Thunderhammer.
They are all so bad. I think looking at pictures of a lot of the stuff, I think the nicest one is this one of these with a storm bolter, and the leader, he looks he looks a
Passable.
little better. If it's the flag, like oh boy, that would be something else. But all right, let's see what it is. And I'll try and be careful and just show the art card first to see if we can figure out what he is.
Yeah, which we could last week when we unboxed the assault cannon one, just the picture of the guy yelling, it was clear it had to be assault cannon. God, I hope it's not another.
Okay, this is something different. This is Brother Daryl. I think this is the one I thought it was gonna be. It's the one with the servo skull.
You think? Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
so. Yeah, it is.
damn.
He, I feel, is. I don't know if it's
Oh
actually
yeah,
gonna
there's the
focus
servo
right.
skull in the picture.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
all that picture. So
Let's see.
cool. I don't know.
Yeah, that model is.
He's okay. I mean, in some regards, he's sort of. Yeah, you can use the skull at least. Um, I feel I mean, he looks pretty wonky as fuck, but he's actually standing up he's not like in a squatting, taking a shit pose. So in
Yeah,
some
so that's
regards,
that's
it's
something
actually
special.
better. I think it's actually better than most Terminators. He's still, I
Well,
don't
I
know
guess
if
I
they.
wonder because most of them, their bases were kind of nice. Like, is
Yeah,
this
so
one?
this one, well, that's kind of weird. So he's like standing in what almost looks like a trench warfare, like muddy base, where he's like stepping into like a crater or something. And there are these like bones and shell casings. So I mean,
It's something.
it's something. I feel if you wanted to use the base for something other than a space marine, it would kind of be a fucking pain to like cut off the feet, but it's still pretty nice. And I think as we were saying the last time we were unboxing some of these, probably the nicest thing about the models are the bases because they're all unique and like you could actually do something with it. They also have both a helmeted head and a non-helmeted head, and so it's probably not gonna be able to focus in on this head right, but the non-helmeted head, like the head without the helmet, I think is actually cool. It's like nicely scarred and looks really stern and serious.
Hmm.
Um, so actually that
Is it
yeah.
like attached in a dumb way that it would be hard to like put on another model?
Yeah, it has they have these weird like tabs. So unlike the series 1 with the normal Space Marines, um it's going to be hard to actually attach it um to a Space Marine. But you could do it with a little work. And so like I actually like the head on him. Like in many regards if we open another one of these on stream, maybe I'll actually even keep one of them to use the head for a conversion because the head's cool. I actually
Keeping
really
a
like it.
Terminator model. Oof.
Yeah, crazy. The servo skull looks nice, and he's actually he has a little peg that he pegs into the base, and there's like a little iron like bar or whatever that he attaches to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I think of all the ones we've seen and opened so far, I think he's probably the nicest of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that Terminator stride is great. Yeah, I feel in terms of Terminator poses and stuff, this is probably one of the better ones I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it does. I think he does have kind of a he has a mohawk, and he also it is sort of weird. He has like an extra strand of hair hanging down over his face, I think. Or maybe that's I don't know, it's a little hard to tell. But
It's a shame it's not like an emo face.
like Shrike would
Yeah,
be pretty cool. Yeah,
shame.
I always want more servo skulls. Yeah, so I feel you Vox, you did pretty well. This is probably one of the nicest in the box. Okay.
Let's open another one. See what cool stuff we will get. Johnny, this one can be yours.
Yeah, Johnny, you can choose from this box which one do you want. Vox leaves a lot to be desired. No, no Warhammies. So you don't actually want one, Johnny? I feel you have to want one, right? They're so cool. Okay,
Everyone loves them.
two down from the left. So so the bottom left, you mean, or like the second, like the middle left? You're probably gonna get one of the Warhammers, man.
It seems likely.
Actually, yep, for which one? The bottom? This one? Bottom or middle? Because it could one, two, or middle left.
Middle.
Okay. Alright, middle. Warhammer. This is gonna be one of the Warhammers. It almost has to be.
It does seem likely.
Eli says 90% odds at this point. It's almost certainly one of the hammer. Yeah, because there are two of them. Well, the big question is, will we be able to tell it's one of the hammer ones just by looking at the artwork of the dude's face? That's the big question. Oh
Yeah.
shit! Oh shit! It's the one with the servo skull again. So shit, you got the best one again.
That's something else.
So
Wow.
shit, man, it's almost not really, but I would say it's almost guaranteed that the next one like almost has to be a hammer.
Damn.
You dodged a bullet pretty something fierce like shit.
I can't even believe that. That's great.
Yeah,
That's so great.
This is the best one.
Wow.
That's
Fuck a
great.
duck.
Okay. Next one has to be a Thunderhammer. Okay. Eric, why don't you choose the next one done box?
Oh, all right. All right. Top right.
Top right, so this one. Top right.
It's delayed. Whatever one you.
Yeah, I'd
say
pick the
this
top
one.
right.
Yeah,
Thunderhammer. Here we go.
Here it is. It's happening.
Here we go.
It's happening. Thunderhammer.
Okay. Hopefully, I am hoping it is something different and not one of the ones we've already.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
This is a different one. I don't even.
Aw.
What is that? So he has like a bionic face. What do we think that is? Do we think that this could be a Thunderhammer?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, actually, let's.
It makes the most sense.
Okay, fuck yeah, it's Thunderhammer. So if we look at the
Had
box,
to be.
one of the hammers or one of these dudes has like half of his face is missing. So I would say this is one. Fuck yeah, Eric. Thunderhammer.
That may be the worst Thunderhammer. Well,
No, I don't. Well.
I mean, at least he. Yeah,
That's pretty bad, man.
That's a model that.
Okay, well,
We
so
have
let's look
now.
at him. His base is kind of nice. It's like, can we get it to focus? It kind of has like a cobblestone tile base, and then like kind of ruined steel work and everything.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So he has a Thunderhammer, which, man, it's been a while since I've really looked at the Thunderhammers, but holy shit. Like, if we compare, like, this hammer to, like, a Primaris Space Marine, like, Jesus, that hammer is literally, like, the size of his torso. So I don't know about that.
It's a large hammer.
I guess one thing that I actually do kind of like, the shield itself is actually a separate piece, and you glue that to like the hand itself on the model, so that like I feel retains the detailing a little better, And like you could probably actually use this arm. Well, maybe not, but maybe. It would be easier to use it. His helmeted head is pretty standard, like nothing too cool. And his oh boy, his other head, he's kind of like grunting, and it has a bionic eye. Um, he's not too cool.
Yeah, no, he's not.
So, I mean, overall, he's okay. Based on like the small pictures I saw of the models with the Thunder Hammers, um, he's he looks a little better in person than what I was thinking, but and I mean, in some regards, it is kind of neat. Like the front of his armor is also unique. Like it's just this
Hmm.
like cabling and stuff
Well, it's
rather
kind of
than
like the Cyclone missile launcher dude, maybe.
yeah, rather than like the wings, it has this like cabling and stuff, which it's at least different. So they were at least trying to do. They put a little more
Something.
effort into it than like what they would have had to have done. It's not just they took the plastic the plastic Terminators and like reposed them a little and yeah, so he's okay. Damn, that hit is cool. So let's look at it a little more. So the attachment's really weird again. Maybe it'll be a little harder to use than anything else, but I still think just like the first series, the best part about all of these models is their base and that they have unique heads.
Well, in this one, that it has a Thunder Hammer.
Yeah, Eric, no. But actually, that's right, Johnny. You could very well use this for like an Iron Warriors like conversion or something because that the head fits very well with that. So, in many regards, I feel like for like all of these models, if you're willing to spend some time converting and resculpting stuff, like most of the heads on these models are ones that you like will probably almost never see because
Yeah,
they're unique. So like you could
they're unique, and you have to do at least a little bit of work
yeah, so
on them. So
you'd
it's
almost never see them in conversions. So like in that sense I feel they would be pretty good. And the best I feel is the ones with the two we opened earlier with the servo skull. That I feel is the best of the heads. So
something else.
yeah. Okay. So I think maybe we'll open one more. And then we'll
Actually, towards that end, like Johnny, we have your address to send the stuff to, but Vox, you, I don't know, you could either somehow we need to touch base with you to get sort of that information where you'd like to send it. You could, if you like, just send that information to our email, like the blog email address, which I think I just put it in the chat, which is, or yeah, probably the easier thing would just, if you're following us on Instagram, just do the message thing and we can
yeah.
get that information. But yeah, so I guess, yeah, we might as well just do one more.
Do one more and then save the last three for
next week, perhaps.
yeah, maybe next week. I will choose this one. Oh boy, this is the one. Bottom right. Again, this will probably be I think it's gonna be the Lightning Claw guy.
Whoa, that would be so exciting. Oh God.
Yeah. It's gonna be something. It'll certainly be something.
Yep.
Okay. Brother Captain Donato. I would guess this is. Oh
Is it?
shit! This is actually the leader.
Damn.
He's 1
Damn.
in 20.
Damn, Adam, you this like so the unboxing that occurred tonight was surprisingly fruitful.
Yeah, so this we opened some of what I think are the best in the set. Like the dude with a servo skull, I think is my favorite. But so let's actually look. I'm actually interested to see what this one looks like.
Yeah, huh? What do
Okay.
you know?
His base. What does this look like? His base. It's kind of cool. Like there's some steel work, and, like craters and shit.
This
So
Power Fist looks all right.
yeah, so he has a power fist that is like putting in front of him. And it has its own little like a separate piece that has like maybe like a little keypad or something, which you would probably have trouble actually using it, but it's there. He has like a sword that you attach to his front. He has a cape the cape looks pretty good.
It's like, Greg, you're getting.
He actually has a combi bolter, which
Hmm.
has like a melta weapon. And he does have two heads. Um, it's like
What is?
a
Yeah, what does this one look like?
it's gonna be hard to actually focus in on it, but it looks a lot like um this illustration. So it's kind of just it's pretty standard, really. It's like
Yeah,
a kind of a yelling head with a bionic eye. Overall,
generic.
it's pretty generic, but it is different from I don't it is
Yeah,
different
yeah.
from the other ones. um, so I don't know. Yeah, he's pretty nice. His pose is it's kind of wonky. Well, actually, oh shit. So here they actually have a painted picture of what he looks like with his. Can we get this to focus? I'm gonna try and get more of this stuff out of the way. Okay, there it's. I think that's okay. Um. So he looks okay. I mean, he again, just like all the Terminators, his arms aren't attached right, and he doesn't really have an abdomen. So that in itself is bad.
Yeah.
But he's kind of cool. So I guess in this sense, we were pretty lucky with this box that we got. Um,
Yeah, thus far the duplicates we've gotten have been like good.
um, so I don't know what we'll actually do with this, if anything. Maybe we'll send it out to someone as well. But he's pretty cool for the models in general. Well, yeah, for the first series, we opened up about an entire box of them, and we didn't get the Kiro model.
Yeah.
So in this sense, I would imagine we will not get the guy with the banner, in the remaining three. But yeah, so I think we did pretty well tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, you got the hammer. You're gonna be pretty excited
God.
to do stuff with that hammer.
Yeah, Captain Timberlake, yeah, they're certainly not as good as the Space Hawk Terminators.
No, yeah, Alex Headstrom. He was the one who designed those, and those look a lot. They look a lot more natural than these.
Hmm. That's I was when I first heard about this second series, I was hoping they would be of that quality and like the poses and such. Because even though there were still kind of bad looking Terminators, at least like they're still some of the best looking Terminators. And
Yeah,
this, there are good elements, but overall they just don't mesh together well, like cohesively. So
I really do hope with the remaining three. I really hope one of the other ones is the stupid Lightning Claw one because I think of all of them, he probably looks the worst. He looks awful.
doing a jig or something.
Like they tried to make it look like he's charging or something, and he just looks so wonky. Like
Yeah, it
it's
fell flat.
bad. It's bad. Yeah, yeah, really bad. So I guess Series 3, they've started showing models for that, and those are like the Plague Marines and stuff, the Death Guard, right?
Yeah, they look a lot like probably the best of the sets thus far.
Yeah, I agree. Like I think they look pretty good. I mean, they
It almost
still,
seems like Series 2 seems like we never expected to actually make more of these, but I guess we will. And then Series 3 is like, oh, people actually like these. Maybe we should put some effort into it again.
yeah, I feel of all the sets, like those people will actually probably buy them because lots of people have Death Guard. And in the scheme of the Marines and stuff with the bad proportions, the Death Guard are some of the nicer looking ones. Hey, 20-year-old
Yeah.
gamer. Nice of you to join us. Do you want one of these Space Marine heroes? Yeah, Captain Timble, you're right. The Death Guard they'll just be a good source of conversion stuff. Um, what is that? These like Space Marine hero things? Um, they are, if I interpret that correctly, Games Workshop. They've released these sort of to capitalize off of like the blind bag craze with like Lego minifigures and stuff. They've released these series. In this case, these are Space Marine Terminators, where you open up these boxes and each one contains a random Space Marine Terminator. And we've largely just been opening them and laughing at the proportions and how bad most of them look. Um,
Hmm.
and then just been sending them away because we don't really have anything to do with them. Um, so I can't even find it. Where is he? Oh. So if you want 20-year-old gamer, we can send you this Marine here, this Terminator. He's one of the one. He has like a thunder hammer and a storm shield. How do I get one? So if you just send us either find us on Instagram and send us a personal message, or just send us an email. And Eric just put an
Or
email
you could
account for
just
the
do,
blog.
could also just since you're going through Twitch, or but yeah, or I don't know, are you through Twitch here? Is this
Looks like it's Twitch.
you
From
could
what,
just do like a private message through that too.
and just send us your information, and we'll send you the Thunder Hammer, dude. Again, well, we'd
But
understand
if
if
you
you don't
don't want
actually
it, that's
want
fine
them.
too, because it's not a good model.
You could probably do something with his head because it's at least interesting, particularly if you like Iron Warriors. But as we've said earlier, how all of the heads are attachment. Oh yeah, for free. We'll send it to you. Doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to pay for shipping. We'll pay for that too. Um, but yeah, so each one of the models has two heads, one of which has a helmet, which is pretty standard. So it's not focusing for shit, but because our setup here is awful. But so there's his normal helmeted head, and then he also has yeah, well, fuck it. Maybe this will be easier to see. He also has oh, there's a little better. He has his battle wounded face. Okay, Eli, what were you saying? Man, if you don't know what up, this does seem super sketchy. Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah. No, but yeah, no, but essentially what we've been doing on this, we're ending the stream opening up some of these models and talking about them and then just sending them away because we don't really have too much use for them. Okay, let me start putting these away. Eli stumbled upon probably the only people on YouTube who legitimately just want to give things away. LOL. I mean, that might be true. There are probably others, but
Yeah, but I guess it'll be more enjoyable when the third series comes out, because I guess at that point we'll probably know what all of them look like, but it'll still be more interesting to see them because they're actually neat models.
yeah, I agree.
But I don't know.
It would be neat if they. Are you guys in the U.S.? Oh yeah, we're in the United States. So there are three of us. Greg isn't on.
We're
the stream
all
right now.
kind of the East Coast.
Yeah, we're on the East Coast.
But yeah.
But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see, like, if I feel the third series, which is of Death Guard, that'll probably actually sell pretty well, because lots of people play the Death Guard. But it would be cool if they continued to explore some of the other, like, Renegade Legions, like Black Legion and stuff like that. That could be kind of neat. California. For a few years I was in San Diego for work. But
yeah,
yeah,
not
so
anymore though.
California's nice. Yeah, not anymore. But yeah, San Diego was nice. The weather's a lot nicer there than over here in Maryland. But Maryland's fine too. Emperor's Children ones would be cool, so long as they actually put in some time and effort to design cool ones. And
yeah, I feel it goes, but yeah, it would be nice if they would do some that weren't so over the top. But I guess since they've now went back and designed Black Legion models for like the newer Chaos Space Marines, I
Hmm.
guess it wouldn't be that hard for them to make more of
Frenesian
them.
Wolf Heroes.
If only.
Yeah,
If only.
they could do like in many regards, like if they could do essentially anything and it would be kind of cool. Like if they did something with like Eldar and just had or Imperial Guard or any of those could be cool. Um, if they like actually spent time on them. Because in many regards, I think for some of them, like you could probably like not so much with these like Terminators here, but like the original ones with the Space Marines, like you could just get a few of them, assemble them, and use them for kill team. And I feel, um, oh shit, I think that might be the first time we've ever actually seen someone follow our stream while we're streaming.
Yeah, there's Haunter. Hey, Haunter.
But Captain Timbo, you're probably right. They probably won't do anything other than Marines because they don't think they'll
Yeah,
sell very well. But
it's true.
if they made something with like Imperial Guard, like that could be cool for making like a kill team.
Yeah, I feel they will continue with Space Marines for a while, but perhaps if it's continually successful, they'll keep doing other stuff.
Oh yeah, Lifeboat. It does have a following sound, but yeah, I don't think I've actually ever heard it. So, and most of the time, like we don't really stream a ton. We only really stream once a week on Tuesdays. So,
Yeah.
and we'll see. We might try and increase some of that depending on like what we're doing. But
Yeah, I don't know. It seems the stream has worked a little bit better on my end. It's not as um, choppy, or at least I don't think so, which is normally what
yeah,
is
Eric, your
happening all the
internet
time.
connection's a lot better than normal. Like we can actually see you talking, and you're not just a
Amazing.
static image.
Yeah, pretty
Streaming
surprising.
the Xbox 360 Warhammer Gears of War game. Oh, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So I don't know. I think the stream connection has been great. Okay, that's good. Yeah, like I feel it's been pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
it is rarely like that.
particularly for you, Eric.
Yeah, maybe it's gonna be better now.
Yeah, so that's true. Like if you're in California, yeah, it's only like 9:20 or something, so that's a lot better. I've only I played the original Titanfall for a little. I've not played the newer one.
Yeah, I only played the first one as well, but I heard the second one was pretty good too.
Yeah. Yeah, 9:23. That's like actually a pretty good time.
Yeah,
Um,
it's true. It's true.
a pretty good time. Like hopefully most people are off work by then and they've like eaten dinner and all that other stuff.
Yes, Eli, you haven't played it for about an hour. That's how I tend to play games nowadays.
Yeah.
I have all these noble intentions of
And like
playing stuff, and then
aspirations, like, oh man, it's gonna be so cool. I'm gonna play it, and you're excited about it. You buy it and don't play it. Yeah.
yep, yep.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think to get a subscribe button, like you
Oh
probably
yeah,
have to have.
we need more followers. I
Okay,
think
cool.
we need because to become Twitch affiliates, you need to have 50 followers.
Is that what it
Among
is?
some other things, like you have to, there are multiple requirements. Yeah, and maybe someday, maybe we will have that. uh, But until that point, it's fine. It's fine.
Eli says, dude, I wish someone would just come to my house and punch me in the mouth every time I bought a game on sale. Yeah, buying a game doesn't mean you'll find the time to actually play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now you're right, Pipe, but we do have to do more streams. And some of the stuff like we've been slowly collecting some of the stuff we need to like do more of the streams. Like we have a nicer camera that we could like record like as I like work on hobby related stuff. But to really use it, we need to acquire a capture card and experiment around with that. Like the current camera we're using like now to do the unboxings is just like a Logitech web camera that I feel in many regards just works better for like faces and stuff and not really um having like nice videos that you could potentially like we're still probably gonna upload a lot of this on YouTube, but like it's not gonna look great. You need like 50 plus followers and a certain amount of hours streamed in a week. Yeah, so I think if we were really serious about it, like we'll have to reconsider what we want to do, etc. But the main like the blog we have a podcast, and the whole notion of us streaming anything in general stemmed from that. So we thought we could, when we're recording the podcast, we could just essentially stream the thing live. And so that it sort of started from that. And we've done a few like hobby streams showing like me sculpting and some of the stuff like that. And so we'll probably likely continue to do some of those in the future as depending on like the projects and stuff that I'm working on and how like amenable they are to like actually showing stuff.
Yeah.
So I do some artwork and drawing and stuff. Like let me bring up the little is this starting soon thing, this little Adeptus Mechanicus frog, like I drew that, and I draw like Christmas cards and stuff like that. But so in that sense, yeah, like if I could actually do like sketches and stuff, like models and stuff that I'm gonna work on. But it's been a little while since I've done a lot of that. But yeah. And so I guess I don't know exactly what like I think soon, yeah, I'm gonna, as I said earlier in the stream, I'm actually gonna try and play a few games of Warcry. So maybe in the future we can do a stream where we Dragged into Turbo Lasers, that's the name of our podcast.
That's our podcast.
Which is we roughly have one a month.
Yeah, so looking at our path to becoming an affiliate where we can have subscribers, yeah, we need 50 followers. Per month you have to stream for at least 8 hours and on 7 different occasions. But I don't know, that doesn't do research.
So the podcast in general, like it varies a little bit what it's about, but most of the time on standard episodes, we talk a little bit about like what we're working on in like the hobby, like
because yeah, I mean it's pretty much completely focused on the miniature wargaming like hobby, primarily Warhammer 40,000 and such, which these Space Marine models are from.
But we mainly talk about like the models we're working on, and then we sort of in depth review and talk about the new models Games Workshop are releasing, talking about things that we like about the models, things we don't like about the models, and then often kind of talk about potential conversion opportunities the models could have. We also periodically have other hobbyists on to do like interviews about different Inquisitor, like Inq 28 events. Um, so stuff focused around like that, and I know one of the times we did a podcast talking about making your own molds and casting like miniature components, and also I guess. Oh no, yeah, no, we're largely just talking about miniatures and stuff like that. Like overall, like we're very critical of the stuff Games Workshop puts out, and while we very much we're very passionate about the hobby in general, but we're very critical about it. Okay, Greg. Yeah, Greg. So he's our other brother who he couldn't make it to the stream tonight. He says that he draws owls, and that's true. And so I think he drew he drew a little sketch of an owl with that looks to be like a Walkman or like a cassette player. It's pretty cute.
He's listening to The Who, Eminence Front.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's Leslie the Owl. Better than Space Marine Heroes 2. Yeah, I mean it's true. Certainly more charming.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. But yeah, so early at the beginning of the stream, like we were talking about some of the stuff we were working on, and so for instance here, I'm working on converting the ogre model from the Warcry game to make a hired sword for Mordheim. So recently, a lot of our focus was on Mordheim because this year was like the 20th anniversary of Mordheim, and so we spent a lot of time converting and painting warbands for a Mordheim event that took place in Finland. And so a lot of that stuff, if you're at all interested in it, if you go to our blog, Between the Bolter and Me, we have lots of posts detailing the different projects we're working on and stuff like that. So that's certainly somewhere to go if you're interested.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. So I don't know, do we have anything else we want to talk about, or is there anything like any of you viewers would like us to like chime in on or get an opinion about, like any of the newer models that Games Workshop's releasing? Because I think we've largely touched on what we wanted to. And I guess in the future, like we're hoping pretty soon we're going to have a podcast focused around the Galita Inq 28 event. That the first part of it happened. Was it last weekend?
Yeah, last weekend or the weekend before.
It was the weekend before. Actually, Johnny, you said what's going on with the new Iron Sleep project? So our understanding of like what it's called, like
the Primogenitor.
Primogenitor. So yeah, from my understanding of it, it's like a Warhammer 40,000 themed event taking place in a Space Hulk. And I think it's primarily going to be like kill team based. And so the different people participating in it are making like smaller kill teams to play games within a Space Hulk. So at this point, we're none of us are actually going to be participating in the event, like we weren't invited or anything like that. Um, but we probably will make some models for it. I guess we've already made one. Um,
Yeah, nah, it's like a space off thing. I suspect it's going to be happening in or probably Helsinki, since I think most of the people that are at least currently involved are there. But
yeah, I've already made one model, a Death Guard model for one of the participants um, in the event, which is yeah, like a Death Guard Space Marine with a rocket launcher. Here, let me bring up a picture of him.
yeah, well, and thanks for joining us for a little 20-year-old gamer.
Yeah,
Perhaps we'll see you on another stream.
yeah. No, thanks for joining us.
And we are not going to Utah Lifeboat. The event is already passed. Later on, maybe not this weekend, but the next, there's another one in Chicago, which unfortunately we're not going to that either. But that's kind of the second one of the events, which will have a bunch of people there, including kind of the major Inc. 28 people in the Chicago scene, including uh, Isaac Tobin, so like Weirding Way, and Vince, who's like Dark Tech. They're all participating and
Yeah.
whatnot. Eli, picking a Legio for Titanicus, that's a task that you'll have to do your own soul searching for.
Greg says, "What's our opinion on this CBS Viacom merger?"
uh, uh,
Oh, John, so you're trying to work on a model to send. That's cool. Yeah, like I feel,
yeah, I saw pictures of like the work in progress stuff. So
yeah.
hopefully you can get it done.
Oh, Volk, so you're working on your first Ink 28 warband. What are you working on? Because I feel that Ink 28 is really what got us back into really converting miniatures and stuff. And I feel it
Yeah,
really jump started my like I've been interested in 40K and stuff like that for a long time now and been doing stuff with the miniatures, but um Ink 28 really helped push me in a new direction, and I think really helped develop a lot of my like painting, sculpting, converting skills and everything.
yeah, and I
Oh, and
feel it also kept just our wanting to keep the blog going as well. Because when it started, we weren't quite as sure what we were going to be putting in it. We had
oh,
some, but Ink 28 was good.
Space Hog, yeah. Lifeboat, you are coming up with some interesting ideas. Um, okay, so it's been a little while since I've checked the Inquisitorium stuff. Like I know how have you been looking at that recently, Eric? So I'll have to go and look
Yeah, I
and
need to
find
go
your
back and
stuff.
look through it. I don't spend as much time on there as maybe I should. But it is nice that there is like an easily accessible like Facebook group that people can post stuff there.
Yeah, no, it's good. No, I think it's true for a lot of people. Ink 28 has really rejuvenated like their interest and stuff in the hobby in general. Um,
Or at least I feel that's like the Inquisitorum does have the Facebook thing, right?
Yeah, that's like one of the main things. Yeah, starting an Instagram account, I feel it's a great way. Like I feel um
It's a
all
nice way to like keep all your stuff sort of in one place. And if someone is interested in seeing the stuff like you're doing, it's easier to like go back and look at the backlog of stuff. Whereas like Facebook is nice in the sense that you can post stuff, a lot of people can see it and interact with it. But once it like gets off like a day or so later, it's really hard to find anything.
No,
So
Instagram's good.
in some sense, I feel Instagram is kind of starting to replace blogs in
Yes.
the
Yeah.
sense that you
So, I
can
mean,
still
we
sort of,
still maintain our blog every month. But in general, Instagram is a lot easier and faster to see most of the stuff. Like, you don't necessarily have to read long blog posts and stuff like that when you're maybe just interested in seeing like the pictures. No, I mean, I think, yeah, Crowd Scientist, Science League, there are a lot of good blogs, and I still go and like read some of them, but it's hard to keep up with everything. Like, there are a lot of good forums and stuff too, a lot of good blogs, and like actually being able to look out of it, read it, and like ideally the best thing to do I feel would be to like comment and kind of encourage people to continue doing stuff, but finding time for all of that is hard.
well, one thing that's nice, like, because I still like having a blog and such, because you can put more detail and stuff up on there. But Instagram is nice in the sense that it doesn't have to replace the
Yeah.
blog. You can still have the blog and have the detailed posts and additional pictures and stuff. But then you can almost like advertise that blog through Instagram or have additional work in progress stuff. So I feel it kind of can work synergistically together, or just or Instagram just by itself. Or even if like you're considering maybe wanting to start a blog, like you can initially start with Instagram and try to maybe get some people commenting and stuff, see if there's sort of any interest there. So I think
Yeah,
they
because
work
like
together relatively
like
nicely.
if you're at work, it's a lot easier to quickly look at your phone and scroll through stuff on Instagram than it is to like go to a blog and read a post.
Yeah. And I feel also like a blog is a lot of work, composing, like writing everything, getting all the pictures ready, and doing all those things. And rarely do you really get any comments or feedback. Whereas like Instagram, like we
the
get like a
the
fair,
the barrier of entry is much lower.
yeah, it's almost nothing.
And I mean, I completely understand. Like, it's hard to read through blog posts and forums and stuff and actually be engaged and comment on stuff.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I feel in many regards like the blog, when we started our blog, it was largely just in one sense, it was a way to keep track of like what we were working on, but it was also a way like when we did start doing more like conversions and stuff like that, it was a good way to kind of talk about some of our inspirations and why we were doing some of the stuff. And like I
Hmm.
know, particularly with a lot of our conversions, like I really spend a lot of time in really small, minute details that, in many sense, they're very easy to just gloss over and like not even see. So it's kind of a way where I can spend a little more time talking about some of that stuff. And for people who are willing to read the stuff or are actually really looking closely at some of the stuff, I think people could appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it was
No,
sort of
it's
a way to make write about stuff that we were interested in, and I feel all these years later, it's neat that there is like a big group of people who are also interested in the same thing.
yeah, man. If you go back like the 6 years ago and stuff, the blog. Like we actually have maybe some codex reviews and stuff.
What were we doing?
Yeah, what were we doing? Well, hell yeah, the third post was the Dark Angel Codex review in January 29th, 2013.
Was that where we really like played into it really hard, making fun of the artwork and stuff, or was
No,
that a
that
later
we
post?
must have. That means we did two codex reviews. The first codex review um,
Oh
was
fuck.
before that, and then let me see here.
That's something.
Yeah, so we did, I guess, two Dark Angel Codex reviews. I'm actually putting a link to the first one in the
God.
chat box here. But yeah, so it was, what even edition is this? I don't even know.
Yeah, I have no idea. Deep Wars. Fuck yeah. We had posts about Deep Wars. I like Deep Wars.
But yeah, so the first Dark Angels Codex talked a little bit about the pictures and how they were starting to kind of go back and rework their artwork, but it wasn't quite as bad. But then it seems in 2015 they did a new version, and that one,
That one shouldn't be talked about.
yeah, we really tore that apart about the general decline in quality of the artwork.
I like
That
some
was
of the
that
Deep
was
War
really a
models.
low point in Games Workshop art.
I feel that was one of the lowest points. And as of late, they've gotten a lot better. Like I feel that they're much closer to what is Deep Wars. So Deep Wars is it's a like a skirmish based game that takes place under the sea. So we have different like sea creatures and like
And you have different like elevations and stuff that you're swimming at and whatnot. It was maybe kickstarted a little while back for different expansions and this and that, but like it's a neat skirmish game, and the fact that it's like an underwater thing, sort of steampunkish for some of the factions, but then there's like the obligatory like kind of Cthulhu Deep One inspired race and that sort of thing. Actually, I think Adam, I sent a picture of one of the choice artwork comparisons. Oh god, some of these are so good.
yeah, so that's yeah, Eric. So that yeah is a great that's a great comparison.
I'm sending a couple because
Okay, so I almost think the Dreadnought one is lit. That's like the best. Like holy fuck! Like if you can like the first one where the Dreadnought's like fighting like that those Tyranids and stuff. Like that's actually cool. And then like holy shit.
yeah. So one of the posts that I linked in there was that I guess in 2015 when one of the other Dark Angels Codex came out and just went through kind of like showing one of the new pieces of art compared to like one of the older pieces of art from a previous Dark Angels Codex.
Oh
And
Jesus Christ! And
it's like incredible.
well, yeah, I mean, like I feel some of the art, like that newer art, if like when I was younger, if that's what I saw, like I would have never done anything with the hobby because it's awful. It looks
the one
so.
with the one sergeant there with the plasma pistol and stuff, it looks like his arm isn't even attached.
That's like the models, man. They were trying to
Yeah.
be like the models.
Yeah, but like the one beside it, like with the heavy bolter shooting those Tyranids and stuff, like that's cool. Like that's like I
Yeah, it's
like
awesome.
that's why I thought like grew up like thinking Space Marines were cool because of stuff like that. And then like Games Workshop paid someone for that picture. I mean, maybe it's not so much as that Games Workshop paid someone for it. That's fine. but they used it.
Yeah, like I don't see how they let it get through their review.
I think Eli it was from the Tyranid Codex. I don't quite recall anymore.
Yeah, shit, it's rough. Yeah, some of the old Black Templar art. What I mean, in general, like a lot of the older Codex books, like the art was good, and it was very. A lot of it was much more. They explored a lot of different aspects and stuff that you wouldn't necessarily see on the models. And they acted much more as a way where you could look at that art and get inspired and get ideas for things that you could work on or do. Whereas a lot of the newer stuff is very much just they're making illustrations of the models themselves. And I think we've talked about it before, but a lot of that I think has to do with some of like the chapter house like lawsuits and stuff Games Workshop got into, um,
Yeah.
which is sort of a shame.
Looking at this um, post about the Dark Angels artwork, Jeff Vader or Johan, like he actually commented on it, just a smile or like a frowny face.
Yeah. No, you're right, Fox. The newer, like a lot of the artwork in the new Sisters stuff, Sister of Battle stuff, is much more of a return to form. And like,
I think in general, like in a lot of the more recent stuff, it's gotten a lot better and
yeah,
going back more to
I
that
think they've
stuff.
sort of realized that the artwork is the models are not the only thing that really like describes and defines
Yeah.
like their branding and stuff like that. So like the illustrations and the artwork are also a very important aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it, like particularly back in the days where everything was like black and white, like a lot of that art was very iconic and was pretty different from like what you would see in a lot of other things. Um, Yeah, no, it's good that they realized that some of that shit was really bad, and like, I wonder like how much of it was because of like people like complaining and like telling them that it was that the stuff was bad. Like,
Yeah, it's true. Like,
I mean,
'cause
but in many regards, you almost had to think like they knew it was bad, but whether it was because of like deadlines or whatever, they just needed to get it out, or I don't know. But yeah, that shit's bad.
yeah, really bad.
Let's bring back, for some more inspiration, let's bring back the Dreadnought picture. Like again, I think a lot of people like love Dreadnoughts and like I love Dreadnoughts, but if that was the picture that I saw, like no, never. That's horrible. Better or worse than Space Marine Heroes 2, though? Space Marine Heroes 2 was better than a lot of this artwork. That Dreadnought looks like a Lego model. That's true. I would argue though that if it were made out of Lego, it would look better.
Yeah, because Lego, their designers take pride in their work.
Yeah, like whoever illustrated this drawing, like they
Couldn't have been a
it was
fan of
that
Warhammer
or
40,000.
that was just a job. It was a job, and they were getting it done, and they did it. It wasn't. It wasn't there. That's not. Yeah, God. Well, we've said it enough. We've said
Yeah.
it enough. All right. Well, I think maybe like it's almost 1 o'clock here for us here on the East
Yeah,
Coast.
so we should probably, yeah.
And I feel I have to get up for work at like 6:30 or something. So that kind of sucks. But it was great chatting with everyone. Thanks for coming. It was fun looking at some of the Space Brain Hero models.
Mm-hmm.
I feel we did pretty well. I'll try, hopefully, be able to send most of this stuff out by the latest sometime this weekend. So,
Yeah, no. Yeah, thanks, Vox, for joining us. Hopefully, you can watch other streams at some point. Um, yeah. And, thanks, Johnny, for always being here. Eli, Lifeboat, uh, Captain Timberley, everybody.
yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, 3, 3 p.m. All right, 3 p.m. in sunny Australia.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. All right, yeah, everyone. Keep on enjoying the hobby, and hopefully, we'll talk to you again soon. At the very latest, next time at around the same time.
Yeah. See you, everybody.
Over and out.